The lavender sky had begun to fade into deep purple as night fell over the distant planet. Lyra had spent several days with the humans, learning, exploring, and growing stronger. She now understood some words, could follow basic instructions, and even began to manipulate the ruins' technology in small ways. But the danger that had followed her had not disappeared entirely. Captain Rana stood at the edge of the plateau, gazing at the ruins where the alien hunters had last appeared. "They will not give up so easily," she said quietly. "We need to be ready. But we also need to protect Lyra first." Lyra sat beside Dr. Mira, her small hands resting on the alien energy panels. She whispered softly to herself, "Safe, family." The words had become her shield, giving her courage and focus. Jamil was busy analyzing the readings from the ruins. "The hunters are not far. Their energy traces suggest they are regrouping. They might come back stronger. But Lyra's connection to the ruins could give us an advantage. She can use the technology to defend herself and us." Dr. Mira gently took Lyra's hand. "You've come so far, Lyra. You are not alone anymore. We will face whatever comes together." Kira nodded, adjusting the energy shields round the shelter. "I've enhanced the barriers. If they come, we can keep them at a distance long enough to escape or negotiate." Despite the precautions, tension filled the air. The humans and Lyra knew that this could be the final test. The alien hunters were determined, and the stakes were higher than ever. But Lyra, small and fragile as she seemed, was no longer just a child. They had seen her bravery, her cleverness, and the strength of her heart. Hours passed in careful preparation. Finally, a faint hum reached their ears. The hunters had returned. Shadows moved at the edge of the plateau, their metallic suits reflecting the dim light. They approached slowly, scanning, analyzing, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Captain Rana whispered orders calmly. "Stay together. Protect Lyra. Remember, our goal is to keep her safe and avoid unnecessary conflict." The hunters moved forward. But as they stepped closer, the ruin's energy pulsed in response to Lyra. She raised her hands instinctively, and a wave of light spread across the plateau, creating barriers that forced the hunters to pause. "She's doing it again," Jamil whispered. "She can control it. She's incredible." Lyra focused, her lips moving in soft, deliberate words. "Safe, family." The energy around her grew stronger, creating a protective dome. The humans felt the power of the ruins responding to her, as if the planet itself was aiding them. The alien hunters communicated among themselves, trying to understand how a single child could create such defenses. But Lyra was not only defending herself, she was guiding the humans. She led them through a series of pathways and openings in the ruins, which the hunters could not cross because of the barriers she controlled. Captain Rana marveled at Lyra's courage. "She's leading us. She's not afraid anymore." Finally, the hunters activated a device that emitted a bright pulse of energy toward Lyra. She gasped, but instinctively raised her hands. The pulse collided with the barriers, bouncing back and creating a dazzling display of light. The humans shielded their eyes, but the display revealed a truth: they were witnessing something extraordinary. Lyra had learned to combine her natural abilities with the ruins' technology. She was not just surviving, she was protecting, guiding, and even strategizing. Her fear had transformed into determination. Dr. Mira knelt beside her. "Focus, Lyra. You are safe with us. We believe in you." With that encouragement, Lyra concentrated fully. The energy from the ruins pulsed in waves, and the alien hunters were forced to retreat step by step. Every move Lyra made was precise. She was small, yes, but her mind and heart had become powerful weapons. The humans watched in awe. Karen adjusted the energy shields, amplifying Lyra's control. Jamil monitored the hunters' positions, noting every hesitation they showed. Even Captain Rana, experienced in countless dangerous missions, felt a sense of wonder at the sight of this child commanding ancient technology. Finally, the hunters realized they could not succeed. They gave one last warning in their strange language and then retreated into the darkness. Leaving the ruins and the plateau behind, Lyra dropped to her knees, exhausted but victorious. Dr. Mira embraced her tightly. "You did it, Lyra. You are safe now. The girl looked at the humans, her silver eyes reflecting relief, gratitude, and a new sense of belonging. She whispered softly, "Family, safe," and then, more clearly, "Mom." Captain ran and knelt beside her. "Yes, Lyra, you have a family now. You are not alone." For the first time since she had been found abandoned in the ruins, Lyra smiled fully. Her courage, intelligence, and trust had not only saved herself, but had also shown the humans the true power of compassion, teamwork, and bravery. The following morning, the team prepared the shuttle to leave the planet. Lyra stayed close to Dr. Mira, holding her hand tightly. She touched the ruins one last time. Whispering quietly to herself, the energy responded faintly, as if acknowledging her presence. Captain Rana watched Lyra carefully. "She has changed everything," she said. "She taught us patience, courage, and the value of understanding. Humanity shines not only in our strength, but in our care for others." As the shuttle lifted from the plateau, the ruins slowly faded beneath them. Lyra watched silently, then turned to the humans who had become her family. She whispered again, "Safe, family, home." Dr. Mira smiled. "Home is wherever we are together, Lyra. That is your new home." The journey back to the starship Aurora was quiet but filled with peace. Lyra rested in the care of the humans, her breathing steady, her mind calm. She had faced fear, danger, and loneliness, and now she had found courage, companionship, and trust. Over the following weeks, the humans studied the ruins from orbit. They carefully documented the alien technology and energy patterns. Always keeping Lyra's safety as the priority, Lyra continued to grow, learning new words, understanding more about humans, and even teaching them small things she remembered from her civilization. The humans realized that she was more than a child. They were learning from her. As much as she was learning from them, her intelligence, curiosity, and courage were a gift, reminding them of the best qualities of humanity, compassion, bravery, and hope. One night, as stars shimmered across the sky, Lyra sat beside Captain Rana on the observation deck. "Stars, same?" she asked softly, pointing to the distant points of light. "Yes," Rana replied. "The stars shine for everyone. No matter where you are, there's always light to guide you." Lyra smiled and whispered, "Light, family, safe." Her words carried hope, not fear. She had survived alone once, but now she had found a family among humans. And she understood that courage and kindness could create bonds stronger than any danger. Captain Rana looked at her, proud and inspired. "You've taught us more than you know, Lyra. You've reminded us why we fight to protect life, no matter how small or different it may seem. You are extraordinary." The alien girl's eyes shone, reflecting the distant stars. "Mom, here," she said softly, placing her small hand on Dr. Mira's. It was a declaration, a promise, and a beginning. As the Aurora traveled through space, carrying its new passengers safely among the stars, the humans understood that this was only the start of something extraordinary. Lyra, the alien girl abandoned and left to die, had shown them the true meaning of courage, trust, and family. And somewhere in the vast expanse of the universe, the faint pulses of the ruins echoed her presence. They spoke of survival, hope, and the remarkable spirit of life, reminding all who would listen that humanity's strength is not only in its technology or its reach across the stars, but in its heart. For Lyra, the alien girl, and for the humans who had saved her, the adventure was not over. It had simply transformed into something greater, a story of connection, bravery, and the enduring power of compassion. Together, they would face new worlds, new challenges, and new wonders, but always with the knowledge that hope and family were stronger than fear. Under the light of distant stars, the girl whispered one last time to herself, "Mom, here, safe, family," and for the first time, she knew it was true. The universe was vast and mysterious, but in the hearts of humans and the alien girl, it was also a place of courage, kindness, and home. The planet's lavender sky had grown darker, tinged with orange and red as the sun began to set. The ruins where Lyra had found shelter glowed faintly from the energy pulsing through the alien technology. For several days, the humans had worked to help Lyra grow stronger, teach her basic words, and understand her unusual abilities. She had begun to trust them, but something in the air felt different that evening. Jamil was the first to notice it. "Captain, I'm picking up energy spikes again," he said, his voice tense. "But these are not from the ruins, they're moving." Captain ran a step closer, her eyes narrowing. "Moving, you mean? Something is coming?" Jamil nodded. "I can't tell exactly what, but it's intelligent. It's not natural wildlife. Something is tracking her." Dr. Mira looked at Lyra, who was sitting quietly, brushing her hair. The girl suddenly stiffened, her large silver eyes wide with fear. "Them. Come," she whispered, and her broken human words. Rana felt a chill. "We have to prepare. Lyra cannot be left alone. She's more important than we realized. We protect her no matter what." The humans quickly reinforced the shelter, setting up energy shields and monitoring devices. Karen worked tirelessly, connecting portable power sources to create barriers that could detect movement. Lyra watched, unsure but trusting. She repeated the word "safe" softly, as if telling herself it would be enough. Night fell, and the ruins became quiet again. But the energy spikes grew closer. Shadows moved in the distance, tall and unfamiliar, their shapes hard to define even in the dim starlight. The humans gathered inside the shelter, tense but ready. Suddenly, a bright flash illuminated the area outside. The air shimmered, and strange figures appeared at the edge of the ruins. They were taller than humans, armored in dark, metallic suits. Their faces were hidden, but their presence radiated authority and power. They moved with precision, scanning the ruins for Lyra. Captain Rana stood firm. "Remember, we do not attack unless necessary. Our goal is to protect her, but we avoid conflict if we can." Jamil scanned their numbers and movements. Jamil quickly analyzed the readings. "At least 5, maybe more. They are searching specifically for her. Their energy patterns are unlike anything we've studied, but they respond to her presence. She is the key." Lyra clung to Dr. Mira, hiding behind her. "Them or take me," she whispered, fear in her voice. "Mom gone." Dr. Mira held her tightly. "Not now, Lyra. We are your family now. We will not let them take you." The alien hunters moved closer. Their suits emitted faint pulses of energy, scanning every corner. The humans realized that these were not mindless creatures. They were organized, intelligent, and dangerous. But Lyra, small and fragile as she was, stepped forward slightly. Her hand brushed against the ground, and suddenly, the energy from the ruins reacted. Symbols glowed brighter, a faint hum filling the air, and a shield-like force seemed to ripple outward. Jamil stared in amazement. "She's controlling it. Somehow, she can use the ruins' technology to defend herself." Captain Rana nodded. "Good. Lyra, listen to us. Stay calm. Focus." The girl concentrated, her large eyes closing briefly. The alien hunters paused as if sensing the sudden change in energy. The ruins pulsed in response to Lyra, creating barriers that made approaching her dangerous. One of the hunters lifted a device that sent a scanning beam, but the energy barrier reflected it harmlessly. Dr. Mira whispered, "See? You are stronger than you think. They cannot reach you if you stay calm and focus." Lyra's lips trembled, but she nodded. She repeated the words softly, "Safe," and the barrier grew stronger. The humans watched in awe as she subtly guided the energy, her small hands moving as if conducting an invisible orchestra. The hunters, realizing that a direct approach was ineffective, paused. Then, a loud voice spoke in a language the humans could not understand. Lyra shivered but stood firm. Somehow, she seemed to understand it, her eyes narrowing with recognition. "They know her," Jamil said quietly. "They are not random hunters. They are after something she holds. Knowledge, maybe a memory, something tied to her civilization." Captain Rana took a deep breath. "We cannot let them take her. We need a plan. Lyra, we will help you." Together, the humans and Lyra devised a strategy. They would use the ruins' energy systems to create a safe zone, drawing the hunters into an area where they could be monitored and kept at a distance. Kieran worked quickly, using portable devices to enhance the barriers. While Jamil connected the readings to a central console, the hunters moved closer cautiously, trying to understand the energy patterns. Lyra watched carefully, her eyes reflecting determination. Despite her small size, she radiated courage that surprised everyone. Her fear was real, but she did not let it control her. Hours passed. The standoff continued under the stars. The alien girl and the humans learned to anticipate each other's moves. Every time the hunters advanced, the ruins' energy reacted to Lyra, creating barriers, traps, and subtle warnings. The humans marveled at her ability to intuitively control the ancient technology. Finally, one of the hunters activated a strange device aimed directly at Lyra. She gasped but immediately moved her hands, and a wave of energy surged outward, knocking the device harmlessly aside. The hunters paused, clearly unprepared for her skill. Captain Rana seized the moment. "We must act now," she whispered. "Guide her to the exit point. Kieran, lead them along the safe path we prepared." Lyra nodded, and together with Dr. Mira, they followed Kieran through the ruins. The humans stayed close, using shields and tools to prevent any hunter from getting near. The ruins themselves seemed to respond, doors sliding open, Carters guiding them, almost as if the planet itself was helping. The hunters followed, cautious but relentless. Lyra felt her fear rising, but she focused on the humans' voices, on their presence. She repeated the word that had comforted her since she arrived, "Mom." It was no longer a cry for help, but a mantra that gave her strength. Finally, they reached an open plateau at the edge of the ruins. From here, the humans could launch the shuttle and leave the planet if necessary. The hunters stopped at the edge of the plateau, unable to cross the energy barriers created by Lyra's guidance. Captain Rana breathed a sigh of relief. "We did it. She is safe for now." Dr. Mira knelt beside Lyra. "You were amazing," she said softly. "You faced danger bravely, and you protected yourself and us." Lyra looked at the humans, her silver eyes wide. She whispered, "Family safe," and hugged Dr. Mira tightly. The humans realized something important. Lyra was not just a survivor. She was a teacher, a bridge between species, and a symbol of courage. Her presence reminded them that compassion, trust, and bravery could overcome even the most terrifying challenges. As the humans prepared the shuttle for departure, Lyra stood at the edge of the plateau. She looked back at the ruins, the place she had once called home. It was no longer just a memory of loss. It was a place where she had discovered her strength, her voice, and a new family. Captain Rana watched her quietly. "Whatever comes next," she said, "we face it together." Humanity shines not just in technology, but in courage and care for others. The hunters retreated slowly, their glowing suits disappearing into the darkness. Lyra watched them leave, understanding without words that danger still existed, but that she now had allies. Allies who would fight with her, who would protect her, and who had already proven their loyalty. That night, under the lavender sky dotted with stars, the humans and Lyra rested. The alien girl slept between Dr. Mira and Captain Rana, feeling warmth, safety, and trust. For the first time in her life, she felt she belonged somewhere far from her lost home, on a planet of strange ruins and unknown dangers. A small alien girl had discovered that humanity could be kind, brave, and protective. And in the hearts of the humans who had chosen to save her, a new understanding had grown that life, in any form, was worth protecting. And that courage often came from the most unexpected places. The stars above shimmered quietly, as if approving this fragile, new bond. And somewhere in the distance, faint energy pulses hinted that the story of Lyra, the alien girl, and the humans was far from over. New challenges, new discoveries, and new adventures awaited, but for now, hope had won. The next morning, the lavender sky brightened, revealing more of the strange planet. The ruins glistened under the soft sunlight, and the tall grasses swayed gently as if welcoming the humans. Lyra, the alien girl, stirred from her rest. Her silver-white hair shimmered in the morning light, and her large, liquid-like eyes looked curiously at the humans around her. Dr. Mira knelt beside her, offering a warm, soft nutrient gel. Lyra sniffed it cautiously before tasting. Her small face brightened as the warmth of food touched her body. Slowly, she ate, her trust in the humans growing with every bite. "You're safe here," Dr. Mira whispered. "We won't let anyone hurt you." The girl's eyes filled with wonder and a hint of relief. She looked around at the humans, then at the ruins that had once been her home. She touched a broken wall and whispered the word again, "Mom." It was almost a song this time, a word full of longing and memory. Captain Rana watched from a distance. "She remembers someone," she said quietly, "or maybe a place she calls home. Either way, we have to protect her. She is not just another life form, she is a child." Jamil, still scanning the ruins for energy signals, frowned. "Her energy readings are unusual. It's almost as if she is connected to this planet in some way. The readings spike when she touches certain structures. It's subtle, but it's definitely there." Karen approached the group, holding a small portable shelter module. "We can set this up over here. It will give her more comfort, and we can monitor her health better. She might respond better if she has a safe space of her own." Dr. Mira smiled. "Good idea. Lyra needs to feel secure. She has been alone too long." The humans worked together to set up the small shelter. Lyra watched, fascinated by their actions. She reached out with a tiny hand to touch one of the glowing panels, and it responded immediately, pulsing softly under her fingers. A quiet hum filled the air. "It's reacting to her touch," Jamil said, surprised. "Whatever technology was here, it responds to her presence. She might be more than just a normal child." Captain Rana frowned. "We don't know if it's dangerous. For now, keep a safe distance and monitor it closely." Despite their caution, a bond was forming. Lyra began to imitate human gestures. She mimicked Dr. Mira's careful movements and even tried to copy Karen's engineering adjustments. Though clumsily, her intelligence was apparent, and it quickly became clear that she was learning much faster than expected. By midday, the team sat in a circle, trying to communicate more directly with her. They used simple words, gestures, and gentle tones. Lyra listened carefully, her large eyes absorbing everything. Occasionally, she repeated words imperfectly, but with effort. "Name?" Dr. Mira asked. "Lee." "Ra," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "Good, Lyra," Dr. Mira encouraged. "We will call you that. Can you say friend FRR?" And Lyra repeated, stumbling over the syllables. A small smile broke across her face. It was the first real expression of joy since they found her. Captain Rana stepped closer. "Lyra, do you remember your home?" she asked gently. The girl's eyes darkened slightly. She pointed to the ruins, then whispered softly, "Gone." Her voice trembled, and her shoulders shook. The humans realized that whatever had happened, it had left her completely alone. Dr. Mira hugged Lyra gently. "We will help you," she said. "We are your friends now. You don't have to be alone anymore." For ours, Lyra explored the ruins with the humans guiding her. She seemed drawn to certain objects, smooth stones etched with symbols, panels of alien technology, and even fragments of alien books. Each time she touched them, the energy readings spiked slightly, as if her presence activated something long dormant. Jamil examined her closely. "Her touch, it's like she can interact with the technology naturally. That is remarkable. Maybe she is part of this civilization in a way we don't understand." Captain Rana nodded thoughtfully. "She might hold knowledge we have never seen. But for now, her safety comes first. We protect her, then we learn." As evening approached, the humans gathered around a small fire-like energy source in the shelter. Lyra sat between Dr. Mira and Kieran, slowly relaxing in their company. She looked up at the stars, her silver eyes reflecting their distant glow. "Stars same?" she asked softly, pointing at the sky. "Yes," Dr. Mira replied. "Some things are the same everywhere. The stars shine for everyone." Lyra reached for Dr. Mira's hand, and for a moment, she allowed herself to feel safe. The human's kindness was something she had not known in a long time. It was a small comfort, but it mattered greatly. Later, as the humans slept, Lyra quietly explored the shelter. She touched the walls, whispered to herself, and even played with some of the human tools. Despite her curiosity, she never left the shelter's boundaries. It was clear she had learned to trust, but still remembered fear. Captain Rana and Jamil discussed her quietly. "We need to understand her better," Jamil said. "If she is connected to this planet or its technology, she could be very important. But we cannot rush her. Pushing too hard could scare her away." Rana nodded. "Agreed. Compassion first. Knowledge second. She survived alone until now. We cannot break that trust." The following days were spent helping Lyra adjust. Dr. Mira taught her basic human words. Kieran showed her small engineering tasks, and Jamil studied her connection to the technology. The girl proved intelligent beyond expectations, able to solve problems that took humans longer to figure out, despite her growing confidence. Lyra never forgot her past. Occasionally, she would whisper "Mom" in the quiet moments, her voice full of longing. It became clear to the humans that she was not only an orphan in body, but in spirit as well. One morning, as Lyra explored the ruins, she suddenly stopped in front of a tall, broken pillar. Symbols glowed faintly where she touched, and she whispered urgently, "Here." "Home?" Captain Rana and Dr. Mira approached carefully. "What is it, Lyra?" Dr. Mira asked. Lyra looked at them, her eyes wide. "Lost family," she said. Her voice was small but filled with emotion. "Gone alone." Rana felt a pang of sadness. She knelt beside the girl. "You are not alone anymore, Lyra. We are here. You have a family now." The girl looked at the humans, uncertainty mixed with hope. Slowly, she reached out, placing her small hand in Dr. Mira's again. It was a silent promise. She would trust them, and together, they would face whatever came next. As night fell again, the humans realized that Lyra was not only remarkable for her intelligence, but for her courage. She had survived alone in a world that had abandoned her. Now, she was learning to trust humans, to let herself be cared for. And in return, the humans were discovering that compassion and understanding could bridge worlds, species, and memories long lost. Captain Rana stood under the lavender sky, looking at Lyra sleeping peacefully in the shelter. "We found her," she whispered to herself. "And somehow, I think she found us too." And known to them, faint energy signals began to pulse across the ruins where Lyra had been exploring. Somewhere out there, on this distant planet, others were noticing her presence. The bond between Lyra and the humans had begun, but it was only the beginning of a journey, filled with mystery, courage, and the enduring strength of humanity. The starship Aurora drifted silently above the uncharted planet. Its metal hull gleamed under the light of a distant sun, and the hum of the engines was the only sound inside the cabin. Captain Rana stood by the observation window, her eyes fixed on the blue and green world below. The planet seemed peaceful from above, but the scanners had picked up unusual energy readings near the surface. "This is strange," said Jamil, the ship's science officer, frowning at the readings. "There is some kind of energy source down there, but it doesn't match anything in our database." "It's faint but alive," Captain Rana nodded. "We need to investigate, but carefully. Prepare a small landing team. I want everyone alert." The landing party assembled quickly. They wore their exploration suits and carried portable scanners and survival equipment. Among them was Dr. Mira, a biologist, and Kieran, an engineer. They descended in the shuttle, the atmosphere growing denser as they approached the surface. The planet's sky was a soft lavender color, and the land was covered with strange, tall grasses that swayed as if moved by an invisible wind. As they landed, the team noticed the ruins first. Broken buildings, twisted metal, and fragments of alien machinery were scattered across the landscape. The structures were unlike anything humans had seen before. Their walls curved in smooth arcs, and strange symbols were etched into every surface. "This place must have been home to an advanced civilization," said Dr. Mira, her voice filled with wonder. "Look at these carvings. They aren't just decorative, they seem to tell a story." Jamil crouched to scan a small fragment of glowing metal. "These readings, they are residual energy signatures. Whatever lived here, they used some kind of technology we don't understand." The team walked slowly, careful not to disturb anything. They expected silence. Instead, They heard a faint sound of soft whimpering coming from the ruins. Captain Rana motioned for everyone to stay quiet. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. The sound came again, slightly louder this time. It was high-pitched, small, and clearly coming from somewhere nearby. The team moved toward the source, their hearts racing. As they turned a corner, they saw her. She was tiny, no taller than a human child of 6 years. Her skin had a soft green-blue hue, and her large eyes shimmered like liquid silver. She was crouched behind a broken wall, her thin arms wrapped around her knees. Her hair, silver white and silky, fell over her face. She looked frightened, weak, and alone. For a moment, everyone froze. The alien girl did not move. Then, her lips quivered, and she whispered a single word, "Mom." The humans exchanged startled looks. No one expected that. Dr. Mira stepped forward slowly, her hands raised in a gesture of peace. "It's okay," she said softly. "We won't hurt you." The girl flinched and hugged herself tighter. She was trembling, shivering even though the air was warm. Jamil scanned her with his handheld device, careful not to touch her. "She's alive, but barely," he said. "Her vital signs are weak. She hasn't eaten in days, maybe longer. She could die if we don't act quickly." Captain Rana frowned. "We have to be careful. We don't know what she is capable of or if there are others like her nearby. But leaving her here is not an option." Dr. Mira nodded. "She needs help, Captain. Whatever her species is, she is a child. That alone is reason enough to care for her." The girl's large eyes darted from one human to another. She seemed to understand their words, but fear still held her frozen. Then, in a soft voice, she repeated the word, almost like a plea, "Mom." It was impossible not to feel sympathy. Captain Rana took a deep breath. "Kieran, bring the medical kit. Dr. Mira, stay with her. We'll get her stabilized and figure out what to do next." The team worked carefully. Dr. Mira knelt beside the girl, speaking in gentle tones. Slowly, the alien's trembling decreased. Kieran administered a nutrient gel, specially designed for unknown life forms. While Jamil continued to scan the surrounding area for any other threats, hours passed. The girl's breathing steadied, and she began to look around, curiosity mixing with fear in her eyes. She had clearly been abandoned, left alone in a world she did not understand. Captain Rana watched her closely. "She's not dangerous," she said quietly. "She's scared, that's all. We need to treat her like a child, not a mystery." As night fell, the landscape transformed. The lavender sky darkened, and stars sparkled like diamonds. The ruins looked different under the soft starlight, less threatening, more sorrowful. The alien girl finally spoke again, this time in broken words that mimicked human speech. "Hungry," she said. Dr. Mira smiled gently. "I know, you must be very hungry. We'll take care of you." The girl's lips curved slightly into a tentative smile. It was the first sign of trust. Captain Rana allowed herself a small sigh of relief. For now, the immediate danger was gone. But questions remained. Where had she come from? Why was she alone? And what did the words she whispered really mean? The team decided to set up a temporary shelter within the ruins. They used their technology to create a safe space, shielding the girl from potential predators and harsh weather. They named her Lyra, after a constellation visible in the sky above. Lyra clung to Dr. Mira, sensing warmth and protection in her presence. As the humans worked, Lyra explored slowly, her eyes wide with wonder. She touched the walls of the ruins, sensing memories that humans could not understand. She paused at a strange symbol etched into a metal pillar. Her fingers hovered above it, and she whispered the word again, "Mom." Captain Rana stood silently nearby. Something about the word resonated deeply. It was not just a cry for help. It was a connection, a hope, a memory of something lost. She realized that this small being, so different from humans, had already begun to touch their hearts. Night deepened, and the humans kept watch around the shelter. The ruins were quiet except for the occasional whisper of the wind. Lyra curled up beside Dr. Mira, finally resting. Her small hand found the humans, and for a moment, the boundary between species seemed to vanish. Captain Rana looked up at the stars, thinking about the journey ahead. They had found life where they least expected it, life that depended entirely on their choices. And in the midst of alien ruins and distant worlds, humanity had a chance to shine through compassion and courage. As she closed her eyes for a moment, she heard it again, a soft, almost fragile whisper, "Mom." It was a word that promised hope, that hinted at a story yet to unfold. And for the humans on that distant planet, it marked the beginning of an adventure that would challenge their courage, their morality, and the very meaning of family.